3, 2, 1. Yay! Time for you to practice your English again. How are you doing, guys? Beautiful people. I hope you're doing really good. And today, in order to practice your English, in order to help you get in touch, in contact with native speaker, I asked a friend of mine who lives in the United States of America, another friend of mine. Her name is Jada this time, and she's from Chicago. And she's gonna tell you now about the place. So, not places, but about the place she lives. So she's gonna tell you about the beaches, if they have, and if they do, how it is. She's gonna tell you a little bit about the violence, about the good parts of Chicago, the good part of living there. Yeah, so listen to her, and the best part is, while watching and listening to Jada, you're gonna see some pop-up questions, and the most important thing is pay a lot of attention and try to get the information that comes right after those questions. I mean, try to see if you can get that information, if you can understand, and if you can answer the questions that pop up in your screen. And that, likewise, you'll be practicing your English in a very nice way and listening to a native speaker, Jada from Chicago. So let's listen to her. Bye!
Hi, my name is Jada. I live in Chicago. I am a dear friend of Vaguinho that I knew, and I met him while I was doing an exchange program in Brazil. I lived there for a year, and I met Vaguinho because he's my liaison during the program, and because of that, I am now entitled to make this video for him. So basically I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Chicago. It's an extremely urban and diverse area. It's similar to Sao Paulo, or kind of Rio too, just because there's so many different races that you can find there, you know, and a lot of the people that are there are immigrants. I think about 54% of the population there is around immigrants, or, you know, migrants from different countries. And let's see what else. We're very widely known for our sports teams. So the Chicago Bulls, which is a basketball team, the Chicago Cubs, which is a baseball team, the Chicago Blackhawks, which is a hockey team, and we recently just won the World Cup, woo-woo, and the Chicago Bears, which is our football team. Not Brazilian football, so not soccer, it's like American football. What else about Chicago? There are many different languages spoken in Chicago. It's very rare that you'll go to different neighborhoods and not hear a different language. There are a lot of people that speak English. I mean, for the most part, everybody speaks English, but for example, if I go down the street from my house, somebody's going to be speaking Spanish. One interesting thing about Chicago is that during the Chicago fire, which was in 1904, we have one building that, at that building, everything else besides that one building, which we now call the Water Tower, was burned down. So everything perished, there was nothing left. This was a long time ago, and now that building is known as one of the most famous buildings in Chicago because it survived that giant fire. We have the beach, but we don't have an ocean. We have a lake. So it's a little bit different. The water's cold, there's not as many fish, and all of our beaches are man-made. So meaning that the sand that's on the beaches weren't originally there, that they were placed there. Another thing about Chicago is that there is slight violence in Chicago. In most of the more urban and on the south side of Chicago, there's a lot of violence. There is a lot of gun violence. There's a lot of stabbings or for, you know, different killings and murders that happen, unfortunately. But, you know, don't take that out on Chicago as a whole. Just think of it as, you know, that's just a little bit, you know. If you go to, it's like the same thing as a favela. If you go to favela, there's going to be violence in a favela. If you go to the south side or like to the really west side of Chicago, it's going to be the same thing with a lot of violence. But besides that, Chicago's a great place, and you guys should definitely visit one day. I don't know anything else I can tell you. It's also great for shopping. So if any of the girls, if you want to go shopping, come to Chicago. Michigan Street and State Street downtown, perfect. Okay, bye Vaguinho.